My name is Dalibor Savic, and I'm an UEFA Pro licensed coach. I worked in Sweden for many years, and I have the opportunity to work in Brommapojkarna. That is the biggest academy and the best academy in Sweden, and also in the Scandinavia. And I had a lot of good players there. Actually, I was the head coach for the under 19 and under 21 for a 4 years of period. And one of the players I had was Viktor Gyokeres. And we had another player that we sold to Chelsea. His name was Joseph Colley. And now you have like Lucas Bergvall and Dejan Kulusevski that are playing in Tottenham. All of those players were at the same time in Brommapojkarna during this period. So it's a good club to be in if you want to work with good players. Everybody who grew up in Sweden and Scandinavia, you have a big love for Premier League football, because it's since you're a small guy or girl, they're broadcasting the games every week, and everybody, Premier League is, as you know, probably the best league in the world. So of course it's a dream for every coach or every player to go to a big club, and if you can go to one of the top clubs in England, you should take that a chance and opportunity. But it has been a long journey for Viktor to reach this level, and of course he deserves it after 2 or 3 years in Portugal, where he really smashed it with Sporting Lisbon. But his biggest, his biggest talent is that he's so determined and focused and stubborn. Like, he wants to achieve it, and he doesn't give up, because many players maybe stop dreaming about Premier League when you reach the age of 27, but he's keep working for it and try to be a better player every week and every day. And finally, his dream will probably come true to play for Arsenal in the Premier League. So everybody, I think, is happy for him.
And obviously Arsenal hope he'll bring goals, but what, from your time working with him, what else do you think he will bring to Arsenal?
Yeah, first of all, he's a really professional guy, so he will always do his best. Not only if he's playing or not playing, he will always do his best in the sessions, in the training sessions, in the locker room. He will always work extra. He will always try to be prepared when he get the chance to play. Of course, everybody knows that Viktor Gyokeres is a top level player, top striker in Europe right now. But the question is he a world-class player? And I think this is what he needs to prove by coming to Arsenal. That is one of the biggest clubs in the world. If you're not a world-class player and if you're not performing, you will probably not play so much. So I think he's going to come very prepared. He's going to work really hard. He's going to not only play offensively and try to score, but he's going to play hard defensively, like pressing and tackling and winning the balls. So I think if he just get the early goals on in the season, he will probably reach a world-class player. But it's let's see. Fingers crossed.
I mean, could you kind of see that potential there when you were coaching him when he was younger, that he had the ability to go to the very top?
I mean, everybody knew that Viktor is going to be a top player, but reaching these clubs that we're talking about, the Premier League or Serie A or La Liga or the League One, the top clubs, you can never predict that. I think that all of us coaches, we're just a small part of his football journey. We're just a small part of it, putting him in the right position to work with his strengths, trying to give him advices. But all the hard work comes from Viktor, with the extra training, with the extra determination, extra focus. And I think you need to have a bit luck of choosing clubs when you're playing football, to come to a club like where a coach wants to have you, who can play on your strengths. Because to be honest, Viktor is not the most technical players. He's not the most skillful players. And he was not the most technical players in Brommapojkarna under 19 and under 21. But he was a power striker. He was running deep. He was running fast. He was running strong. And you can see that's his style of playing right now also. He's very physical and a very deep going striker, behind the lines. So playing in Coventry, they probably played a lot of transitions, like staying low and fast transitions. So now playing in Arsenal, it's maybe a different style of football where they have a lot of the ball, where they have controlled possession, controlled established attack. Can he fit in that system? And that's the last thing he needs to reach if he wants to be a world-class player. But getting the chance to score in Arsenal, he will probably get more chances in scoring with playing with Arsenal than playing with Coventry. So can he just adapt in the possession-based football instead of the transition-based football that he played before? So this is going to be quite interesting to follow during the season. He was always well prepared for the training sessions. He always did the pre-activation. He was always first guy on the pitch. He was almost the last one off the pitch. He always had the ball staying like 10, 15, 20 minutes after the session, trying to do some more shootings, trying to do some more headers. But, you know, for me, when you work with talent development, or if you work with the first team football, the responsibility of the coach is to put the players in a role and in a system where they can work with the strengths. So me and my staff were thinking about how can we use Viktor to reach his top level in our system, and how can he work with his strengths? Because when a player works with his strengths, he gets the confidence and he enjoys the football, and that's how we develop his love for football and skills for football. So for us, was it to put Viktor sometimes as a number 9 if we wanted to play transition football to run behind the lines, but also to play him in a wing in a 4-3-3 system so he can cut inside and shoot, because he had a very strong shot at a young age, and you can still see it now that he's shooting really, really hard when he gets the chance to shoot. So this was the things we were trying to put them in the system. This was the things we tried to train a lot, like the first touch, and the time between the first and second touch has to be slow, because we cannot teach him like dribbling or controlling the ball. So we were working with these strengths that he had, and also playing in Brommapojkarna, who is a club that are promoting young players. He got the opportunity to play for the first team when he was at a young age. And from that, I think he grew quite fast from a teenager to a into men's football in an early age. So he got very physically early, and that was his advantage. The first year I had him, he didn't have the muscles, but you can see that the body shape was, this guy's going to be big, because he was taller than the other guys, and his physicality, running into duels or tackling, or he was stronger than the opponents in the early years. You can see that. But going to the first team, when he started to get nutrition right, when he got to get the strength training right, and he had a good support from his family, who was, you know, giving him good advices like regarding the food and the vitamins and the minerals and all that. And he grew quite fast the last year and a half when he played with the first team in Brommapojkarna. And from there was no stop, because from Brommapojkarna first team he went to Brighton. So they probably saw everything that I'm talking about right now. I think he made the right choice going to Portugal and going to one of the better clubs there, maybe the best club. I mean, if you score like 44 goals a season or whatever he did in one season, you're dominating the game. And with his physicality and always being in the box, finishing with the left foot, with the right foot. And of course, Sporting Lisbon is creating, 15, 20 chances per game. He's probably going to score 1 or 2 per game. So I think it was wise for him to go to a minor league, but to a top club. If you remember Henrik Larsson, he went from Feyenoord to Celtic, and playing in the biggest and the best club in Scotland, and grow as a player and to be an important player and an important goal scorer. But you don't know if it's a world-class player because you're not playing in the top league yet. But Henrik Larsson then went to the Manchester United and Barcelona, and he proved himself to be a world-class player. Now Viktor has to do the same thing, coming from a minor league in a top club to a bigger league, and see if he can do the same journey as Henrik Larsson and all the other Swedish players.
And you mentioned the sort of mentality and the competitiveness he had when he was younger. Was that something you ever had to kind of rein in a bit and sort of calm him down sometimes? Was it, is it hard to stop him?
No, of course, when you have that mentality as Viktor had, and if we had like a game and we lost it, he was mad, he was upset, he didn't like it, and he always wanted to win the next game. Or in the training session, if we're playing like 5 against 5 or 9 against 9 or 11 against 11, and he loses, he's not. I don't want to say he's not fun to be around. He's always fun to be around because he's a good teammate. I think he's humble. I think coaches like him. I think the other players are like him, but he wants to win. If there's a shooting drill, he wants to win it. If it's a running drill, he wants to win it. So I think this mentality is what has taken him to the top level of football, because I had a lot of talented players who'd stop working, because they were talented, like dribbling and keeping the ball, but they didn't have the mentality that you need to have to reach top level. So for me, it was a long time working with Viktor, but what I remember is these small things that I can tell you about. So